Hi, I am Elohim and I will respond some questions that the people ask me in my social media. Why? Because this is more easy to respond each person one by one. They can ask whatever they want, but I think that this is a way to use the YouTube channel because I'm not really in the videos. It's not my thing. But I have some very good questions, so I will respond around here. Okay. I made this before. I made some videos in my account where you can find me trying to speak in this complicated language and responding questions from some people. Every time that someone asks me something, I always try to respond in the same way. I give them a response, but also I ask to them if they let me use the idea of the or concept of the question to make a video. And when I have so much questions, I just put in paper and I try to respond in video because it's more easy, and I think in this way you can go for more people. You can respond to questions that probably a lot of people have to. So I have seven different questions from 7 different persons. I have Silvia Duarte. I think that is a Latin name. She asked about, I think that is she asked me about crystals in charm bags and how I put crystals in charm bags. Obviously because I have a book of charm bags, and for that reason I put the question like first. It's my first one. This is the thing, you can make charm bags with whatever you want. This is why I like use charm bags, because you can use herbs, crystals, oils, incense, candles, whatever is the kind of magic that you like, and put in your charm bag, because the charm bag is a kind of magical item, very personalized for you. You can handmade this in your home, or you can ask to another person ask a charm bag for you. Especially in other ways. In some stores, I know that the people in charge, they make charm bags for the clients. I think it's a good idea. But I always suggest the people try to make themselves. If you can, for any reason, ask the help of someone else. It's not any problem. I don't go to say you that it's not able. I just prefer when the people try to make their own magic in some way, but it's okay. Take the way that you prefer. About the crystals, you can put these crystals. I know now with the modern astrology, all the people, every time that you ask about a sign, and this can be very bothering for some people, it's like, oh, this is a general question, so I go to give you my sun sign, my solar sign, my moon sign, and my ascendant sign. And it's okay, but I'm from the old school. I base a lot of my magic in the zodiacal sun sign of each one. So if, like me, you are Capricorn, you can put a little piece of onyx or granate in your charm bag for give you look, or personalize for you, for give you some kind of protection. I think it's a good way to work, but you can try to use your sun sign and your solar sign and your moon sign in trying to make a charm bag with more energy if you want to do it. But if you want to personalize your charm bag, you can put just your name in there, or a little part of your hair in there, with a little piece of the crystal that gives you more energy depending on your zodiacal sign. You can find a lot of lists about in internet, in my book, and in other books from another very good authors, better than me, totally better than me. And what I always suggest is, I believe in the background of the crystals. I believe that all of them have a different energy. So, for example, amber is very nice for weekends, but onyx, this is the thing, Capricorn, from my perspective, I'm Capricorn, and Capricorn is a sign who always, not like always do, but we have a tendency to to bring some anxiety or depression to the life. Onyx is the crystal that we use, the Capricorn people, to absorb this bad energy, this anxiety and this depression or this sadness, because this black crystal is like when you use black candles in magic. You don't use black candles to make something bad to another person. You use black candles to cancel some kind of bad thoughts or bad spells on you or in your way, or any obstacles in your way. These black gems or stones usually don't have bad energy, but they absorb a lot of energy, because not because represent the darkness. It's more like this is their function. So you can use these crystals, these black crystals, to absorb some kind of energy. So I recommend you don't use these black crystals. It's my personal recommendation, and probably a lot of people go to say, no, I am grown, and this is okay. This depends on the background and perspective of each one. But in my experience, or from my background, I think that is a bad idea. I always recommend this or use these crystals, and I did it in my book, especially when you are trying to cancel something, some kind of energy that is an obstacle for you in any way, or to cancel a bad emotion that you don't want to have in this moment, like anxiety or depression or sadness or something like that. But you can use it depending of what do you like, or depending of your beliefs. Use little pieces of crystals. I'm saying all of this because the question was very general. Crystals in charms was like, I'm not exactly sure about what you are asking me. And I like to put some oils in the crystals before to put in the charm bag, but this depends of you, depend of the function that you are looking for in magic. I think that is all about it. Yeah, if you have any other question, or you want to focus this question on something more specific, I really appreciate. And I'm totally sure that if this is what is happening, you really appreciate that too. The second question is from Anne-Marie or Anne-Maria or Anne-Maria. New books versus old books. She was asking me about my opinion for why the people continue writing books about magic. This is the thing. I write books, so I don't know if this is personal. I'm totally sure I'm not so important. But if you are in the path of the Wicca or Druidcraft, I know some things about Wicca, and I think that is a very good path. But when it's about Druidcraft or Druids, it's more complicated, because it's like this is a very old belief or religion, I'm not sure, and they practically disappeared for a lot of time. So I see these persons trying to rebuild in some way or give a revival to this religion, and I think that is pretty good. But for that reason, it's necessary that these people, these new druids, write books. If it's about Wicca, okay, Wicca is more very well structured. So I'm not sure if we need more books about Wicca, but that is my opinion. But I can find some very good authors about. When it's about Wicca, I think that we have very good books. In Druidcraft, I just read 2 books about it in my life, because that is not my path. I just read them from the curiosity. But I think that are very good, and probably can be necessary for the people who are looking for this path. About witchcraft and magic, it's like music. You can just listen old music, or you can go for new music. I think that each person that writes something has something to apport, but probably that this can be what you are asking me. Sometimes you go to a library and you found a book, and you are like, from where is this author, or why he or she are suggesting these kind of things? It's like, I believe that in astrology, the retrogradation of Mercury is very bad for communications. So during these times, or while these times, I try to avoid problems with communication. I try to focus more in that, and every time that I noted someone is having a very confusing situation about communication, about emails, about calls, about reunions or meetings, I understand, oh, this is for Mercury, I go to focus from this other perspective, and I try to keep the calm. But I don't make, for example, spells or amulets for Mercury retrograde, because it's like, okay, all the cosmos, I mean, this planet who are ruling this energy is trying to make, not a reset, it's more like he are slowing the energy, he are trying to put the energy very slow, he are making that the energy work very, very slow, and give you the time to focus in how work with this energy from another perspective. If all the communications around the world are failing, why do you believe that you can make a spell, a ritual, or an amulet to avoid this energy, this sensation of that something is not working? I mean, why you are over that? And some authors or other people can make spells for that. Oh, I'm going to make this spell to let the communication flow in a very well way during Mercury retrograde. It's okay if you do that, but I respect that some people do it, but I don't do it because I believe that the stars can be more powerful than me in some way. But some people do make this kind of thing, so if you wanna try, maybe you can try. If you see that this works, so you will appreciate the work of this author who shared with you this spell. And this is the thing, we have a lot of new authors. A lot of them are very good, a lot of them, mostly of them. And I think that is very nice because I remember the old books. This is not personal with any author, but I remember the old books of magic, and mostly of them are more focused in the spells, in the function of the spell, than about how work the spell. And that for me, in that moment when I was a child, was like, this is a love spell. These are asking you use these candles, these colors, these flowers, this kind of very specific kind of flowers for the spell. But why? This is my question, why? Because the question that I always do in home is why not? Every time that someone asks me about something, why not? Why do you use this color of hair? Why not? Why you are so white? Why not? Why you are so tall? Why not? Why do you speak so bad? Why not? I mean, in magic is the same. Sometimes I ask why, sometimes I ask why not. And if you make a spell, you are trying to focus some kind of energy in a ritual, and you need all the elements in there are connecting in some way, trying to focus in that same kind of energy. If you go to make a protection spell to protect a loved one very close to you, you can use pink, because it's not just the color of the friendship, and it's a very good color that I like to use for protection, for spell protection, but it's more about family history. But I use this color to protect my loved ones, and to protect my friends, and to protect my sisters, and to protect my nephews who are in another country. And I make this every week with pink candles, and I put some rose oils in there to let them feel focused and appreciate every time. And why I use the color pink? For these reasons. Why I use candles? For this reason. Why I use this oil? Because the roses oil have these functions, have this power. So I connect the different energies from different elements with my energy, with my purpose, with my intention, and from there I try to make the spell. And now the new books from the modern authors, I'm not saying that the old authors, all of them are bad or something, but I remember that in the old books, all the material was more focused in love spells or protection spells making a function, but don't focus in the real intention. And now we have incredible authors who have a different perspective from the background. From, okay, you go to make this spell for love. So why you are doing the spell? Why you are using these elements? Why you are using this color? Why you are using this day? Why you are using this kind of energy? Why you are using these hours to make the spell and not these other hours? It's a lot of background in there. It's a lot of acknowledgement in there. It's a lot of very deep wisdom in there. And I think that that part is pretty important. And these days the authors are very, because we have internet probably for that. So all the lots of information that we have is so much, and it's so interesting how different authors use it for make new spells or new rituals more effective, who work more fast. I think it's good. Speaking about fast, I remember that in the old books, someone said that every time that you make a spell, this go to take always 6 months before make a function. Just to add this to the conversation, I don't believe in that, because usually when I make a spell and I feeling like in a month, if nothing happened, okay, this spell don't work, let me do another different. But this is me. If you believe that you need to take 6 months or a year to make a spell function, okay, this is you. Carlos Andrade asked me, oh, these are 2 questions that I put together because are from this, they have a similar thing. It's about books, but I forget to say that before. Carlos Andrade asked, I should write a book about magic because he has a lot of years in magic. So this is what I think about. I know these days all is so accessible, or it's so easy to do, like books, or if you make music or a podcast, you can put this in Spotify immediately. If you want to host a program, you don't need a TV show, you can do it in YouTube. I mean, all is so accessible. So yeah, you have the opportunity to do it if you want, but you need to ask yourself, you really need to do it? I mean, you have something that you feel like you need to say, or it's just because this sound nice, like, oh, I am author, this is nice. I write books, but I don't identify myself, me alone, like author. I feel like I am some kind of urban shaman, very strange mage who writing a blog, and sometimes I have the opportunity to put myself in a book, and I think it's good. But I don't feel like this make you better in your life. I don't think that's really important. I don't think that this I mean, if you want to have a professional or very high profile about, it's okay. But I don't think that is necessary. I mean, I meet some authors who write about witchcraft, magic, and sorcery, and they are pretty nice. I meet some authors who are not really good persons. I meet, this is my channel, so I can be very personal here. I meet some very good witches who never write a book in their life, but they are amazing. Like, and this can be very personal, but the most amazing witches that I literally meet in my life are here in the United States, Lady Rhea. She's awesome, and the energy that she has is wow. It's that kind of energy that makes you fear a little, like, wow, I never will go to have problems with this person. But also she's a very lovely person, and she writes books, and they are very good books. But also Lady Rhea is another person who literally make me have some fear in life. Is terrific, and is my mom, and she's a spiritist or spiritualist, santera, who specializes in all this way of Afro-Caribbean magic. She practices this blend between Santeria, Palomayombe, Macumba, Candomblé, a lot of things. And she has around 40 for 30 something years practicing this, and she's awesome, she's incredible, she's powerful, and she's very wise. She's this kind of person who literally know all the prayers from memory. She know all the names of the saints, orishas, angels, gods, goddesses. She has this very amazing mind to focus in magic, and she's this kind of person who always gives you advices of magic when you need something, like, Mom, you know, I have a little headache, but it's from yesterday. Okay, this is the recipe, and she immediately helps you. And she's also an incredible diviner, but my mom never write a book, so she continued being awesome without write a book. I mean, it's not something that, it's not like for be a witch you need a book, not to be a witch or a sorcerer or a magician, a mage, a shaman or a healer or whatever you are, whatever path you identify. It's not about write books or blogs. It's about what you really do. It's not about how the people look at you. Some people look at me like a male witch. I never identify myself like a witch. Some people look at me like a sorcerer. I try to avoid that word because I can't pronounce that word, and I come from Latin America. We don't use the word sorcerer. Some people tell me, because I come from Amazonia, oh, you are some kind of witch doctor. No, I meet a lot of witch doctors in my life, especially when I was children, and believe me, I can't compare with them. But the people know that I make some magical work, so the name is not important. The profile, the professional profile is a thing, and the personal profile is another thing, and I'm more focused on my personal profile. But if you feel like you have something to say about magic, like something new, like something who can really help the people, like something powerful, like something that can really empower people, I think it's a very good idea. If you have the idea to make a book about something awesome. But write books just for write, yeah, a lot of people do it, and I mean, they are just dropping water in the ocean. I mean, it's not really important. This don't make you a better magician or a better witch. This just gives you some profile, but it's not really important in the end of the day. If you see my social media, usually I don't use the word author. I use sometimes the word blogger, or sometimes I say, hey, I write a book, but it's not like important. But this is my view about, probably you have some good reasons to ask. Probably you have a different opinion. If you have it, please let me know. I love when the people make me think different. I love when the people have good arguments and make me think like I was wrong. And this happened a lot of times. Julia Karemis, I'm not sure. She asked me about recipes for money in my work because I have a very bad job. This is the easy thing. First, don't focus in the money. Don't focus in the bills, in the coins. Don't focus in that. Focus in the abundance, because the money is just if you believe that all in this world is a part of energy, it's made of energy, imagine that the money, the bills, are just energy. It's just and every time that you are paying something, you are just making an energetical transaction with someone else. You are giving an energy, a part of your energy, manifesting part of your energy, to put these bills in your hands and use it to buy something, to take something new for you. So don't think in the bills. First of all, think in the abundance, think in the prosperity. It's not about how money you have in your account. It's because you can have a lot of money in your account, but probably it's not enough for the things that you need to do or you need to buy. And not all is about money. It's more about, don't feel like you are lacking something. Like I don't lack of health, I don't lack of love, I don't have lack of home or phone in my life or a partner. Things that you really think that are important to you. If you have all these things, the money is the less of them, is the less important here. But if you really need more money for a situation, I always recommend this, because the bay leaves are we use in magic. I think that practically in every path that you can find, because the bay leaves are very related with the energy of the money, and they have this function that makes you focus not in how bring more money, more they make you focus these leaves in how make this money take more time in your hands. It's like don't let you drop the money so fast. So I always recommend, and I use it, I put I don't know how you name this, wallet in your wallet. I always recommend put 9 leaves of bay leaves in your wallet, or make a charm bag, a green charm bag. You put the leaves in there, you put some oils, you prefer oil, whatever you prefer. Especially if it's for money, put any oil that makes you feel powerful, that makes you feel better, that makes you feel like you can change your own world, because you are the king or queen of your own world. So don't focus in the bills, because this is wrong. A lot of people will make spells or rituals to call money. They made this mistake, that is focus all the spell in bring bills and represent bills, and this is a mistake, because you can bring so much bills that you want, but if you have some doubts, if you have